안녕하세요. 영화평론가 정지혜입니다. 제14회 스웨덴 영화제를 찾아주신 관객 여러분 반갑습니다. 올해도 스웨덴 영화제는 다양한 장르의 영화를 통해서 스웨덴 사회를 조명하고 조망할 수 있는 시간을 마련했습니다. 오늘 만날 영화는 프루다 캠프 감독의 극영화 스웨덴 토피도입니다. 이 영화를 만든 감독님과 영화에 대한 이야기를 깊이 있게 나눠보면서 스웨덴 영화의 가능성을 묻혀보겠습니다.
Kan du gætte mig? Skidt.
Sjælland. Du skal vide, at ingen er så modige som dig.
That's a turning my keys. It's the damn war.
Man må tage et ansvar nu, og så er det absurd.
감독님 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
제14회 스웨덴 영화제 상영으로 한국의 관객분들을 만나고 계신데요. 사실 2022년도에 이미 스웨덴 영화제를 통해서 감독님의 전작인 노킹이라는 작품을 상영한 바 있습니다. 그래서 아마 더 친근한 마음이 들기도 하는데요. 오늘의 관객분들께 먼저 인사 말씀 부탁드리고요. 또 근황과 또 지금 어디서 욕을 하고 계시는지도 좀 같이 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm in Malmö, south of Sweden, and I'm so happy that you have watched the movie. You know, you make a movie and you hope that maybe your family and friends will watch it, maybe your hometown, maybe your country. But both of my film has been traveling worldwide. Just imagining to show it in Korea is just, I'm very honored that you are watching the movie. So thank you for that.
네, 제 경우에는 좀 과문해서 그런 것 같습니다. 오늘 이 영화의 주인공이죠. 살리 바우에르라는 전설적인 스웨덴의 수영 선수에 대해서 이 영화를 통해서 좀 알게 됐습니다. 아마도 짐작하기에는 그 스웨덴인이라면 누구나 얼마간은 이 살리의 전설을 알 것 같은데요. 어떤 좀 평판을 받고 있는지 또 대중적인 관심의 대상인지도 좀 궁금했고요. 무엇보다 감독님께서는 어떻게 이분에게 관심을 갖고 또 영화를 만들어 보겠다라고 결심하게 되셨는지 좀 먼저 청해 듣고 싶습니다.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the main reason I made the film, because she's not well known in Sweden. 9 years ago, I didn't know about her. And at that time, I came across a novel called Happy Sally by the Swedish author Sara Stridsberg. And there, Sally Bauer was mentioned. And I started to Google her and tried to find more information, but it was so little about her. And I tried to do a lot of research, and I found one book at one library in Sweden, in Örebro city. There was like a diary or a logbook that she has written between 1938 and 39. And it was a lot about, numbers and sports results, but at least it was her voice in it. And I thought, my God, I need to do a movie about this, because that would have been so wonderful for me as a young girl to know a woman, breaking norms and doing something in a way extreme. As a role model, you need that. So for me, I felt like a mission to, rewrite history, put this woman in the spotlight again.
의외네요. 저는 짐작만으로 굉장히 스웨덴에서는 많이 알려진 인물이 아닐까? 이렇게 큰 어떤 역사적인 의미가 있는 그 영국 해협을 건넜다라는 그 작업을 한 만큼 굉장히 좀 많이 알려졌을 줄 알았는데 그렇지 않았다는 게 좀 굉장히 의외이고요. 사실 그런 인물들, 특히나 어떤 비가시적인 또 역사에서 잘 조명되지 않았던 여성의 이 역사를 중심 이야기로 끌어올린다는 게 굉장히 큰 용기가 필요한 것 같습니다. 감독님께 어떤 영감의 대상이 됐을 때 그것을 본격적으로 영화를 만들어 봐야 되겠다라고 결심하는 과정이 쉽지만은 않았을 것 같은데요. 주위의 반응이나 또 리서치 과정에 대해서 조금 더 들어보고 싶습니다. 그 단 한 권의 그 책 이후에 어떤 과정으로 좀 인물에 대한 탐구 과정이 있었는지 좀 더 말씀을 청하겠습니다.
Yes, I mean, like you said, it's hard to make a film about someone that is so little information and make the right choices for her. So for me, it was important to to back a little bit and say, this will not be a biopic. This will not be a Wikipedia movie about someone. This will be, I need the artistic freedom to bring myself into it and to be able to pick what I think is dramatic and interesting for an audience of today also. So I contact her son. He's alive, and I told him about my vision, and he said yes. So I would never have done a movie if he doesn't agree with it, because it's his mother, so I respect that. So it was a long process, trying to dig into someone else's life that happened over 80 years ago. But I had a lot of information was, of course, through the son. And what I really found was interesting was the motherhood in this film. Sally was a mother in many swims that she made. And that was something, talking to the son and get his perspective of his mother, and being a mother myself, and follow your dream, have a passion, and still be a present parent. It's a struggle, and I think it's a struggle for so many people who want to do both. And what is a good mother, and what is a bad mother, and is it good to be a mother if you kill your passion at the same time? What kind of mother are you then? So I like to explore these questions and put that into this movie.
말씀하신 것처럼 이 굉장히 굳건한 여성, 또 꿈을 향해서 달려가는 그 어떤 여성의 모습도 한편 있으면서, 다른 한편으로는 그 아들을 키워나가는 어머니로서의 정체성, 그 역할에 대한 책임감, 이런 모습들이 드라마 안에서 균형감을 갖고 나아가고 있는데요. 이 부분에 대해서 각본 작업을 하실 때 동료분들과 이야기를 나누셨는지 조금 더 청해 듣고 싶습니다. 감독님께서 이해한 이 주인공 살리라는 인물의 기질과 또 성격, 또 어떤 유형의 인간인가를 이 드라마의 균형감에서 찾아볼 수 있을 것 같아서요. 그 부분에 대한 좀 더 설명을 청하겠습니다.
Yes, I did co-wrote with another woman, and we talked a lot about what motherhood is, and I must say I brought a lot of me into this movie, what I'm struggling with. And when I had my first baby, there was a lot of they questioned me why I was on set filming and not being home and all that, and that was, I thought we had a little bit equal society in Sweden, but I figured out we didn't. Once you become a mother, there are special expectations on you. So that was really something that I brought into this movie, and also that sometimes you are a bad mother and you make bad choices, and I think we need to see that in movies as well, that it was a really hard balance for people who read the drafts, because I realized that it's harder to make a movie about a mother who's making these other choices than being with the kids. If it had been about a Swedish male torpedo swimmer, it's not the same. So I think it's something that we really need to show more in movies, that it's a struggle, and it's not, sometimes it's not nice, but as long as you have the contact with your children and you tell them what your dreams are, and trying to marry that into your life. And also when I casted Josephine, she was an actress trying to fulfill her passion and dream, and she had 2 small kids, and so she also understood. I casted her very early, so she was also involved in the script process, and yeah. Well, it's hard to say how she was, but she must have been stubborn, because being in the water for 17 hours, cold water, swimming. I heard also from the son that she was stubborn, and that she was very honest with what she wanted to do. But of course, it must have been a struggle for her to be able to do this path in her life.
감독님은 어떠신지도 좀 궁금한데요.
I'm the same. I'm the same. Never give up. That's the thing. If it's a lot of obstacles in the way, I'm always wanted to try and climb over that.
그래서 아마 뭔가 끌리지 않았을까, 이 인물에게 감독님께서 더 뭔가 마음이 가지 않았을까 싶기도 합니다.
Yes, absolutely. I could really. Sometimes it felt like I wouldn't compare it, but okay, I do that now. But making this movie was like it felt like doing the English Channel because it was hard to do it. It took like 7 years to do it. So like sometimes I try to remind Sally would have done this. She would have made it.
조세핀 렌델이라는 배우분이 굉장히 또 열연을 해주셨는데요. 한편으로는 굉장히 강직하고 굳건한 이미지가 전달되기도 하고 또 투박하고 꾸밈없는 인상도 받았습니다. 감독님께서 이 살리라는 인물을 그릴 때 또 이미지화 할 때 어떤 좀 인상을 받았길래 또 조세핀과의 협업을 제안하고 함께 하게 되셨는지 궁금합니다.
Yes, I mean we casted we auditioned like over 50 different Sallys. I had Josephine in the back of my head because I have met her like 8 years ago for another audition. No, like 10 years ago. And I said to my casting director, okay, now we try this. Let's bring her in as well. And she auditioned for the same scene. And he was like, she was the one. There was no talk about it. We didn't need to talk about it. She was really the one. And I asked her, well, do you like water? Do you like to swim? And she said, yes. She never crawled before, so she had to learn that. But in that sense, I think she's a little bit like the real Sally. She's so determined. I give her a task and she will make it. I mean, she was so easy to work with, and she has this. It's so much that you can just read in her face, and what she goes through, her inner struggle, and as a director, that is just so wonderful to have. Yeah, she is in a way. She's almost like I mean, she's the little sister in the family, and she's making choices sometimes, just for herself. And I wanted to compare that with her sister, who wanted to. She was following the norm as a woman and trying to be a mother, and Sally didn't. So I like to have those two sisters, struggling and competing and love each other at the same time to show how it was to be a mother at this time.
또 한편으로는 이 영화가 시대극이잖아요. 1930년대 후반 또 어떤 전쟁의 위기가 고조되고 있고 또 전쟁이 임박해 있는 그런 상황 때문에 오는 긴장과 갈등이 엿보입니다. 시대적인 이 상황, 배경을 좀 영화 안에 어느 정도까지 집어넣을 것인가, 또 이 안에서 특히 이제 여성들이 직면한 한계나 편견, 낙인 이런 것들의 어떤 구체적인 에피소드를 얼마만큼 녹여낼 것인가가 또 관건이었을 것 같습니다. 감독님께 그 부분에 대한 좀 이야기를 청하겠습니다.
Every time a war is coming, women has to step back. And for me, knowing that 5 days before the World War II break out, Sally Bauer crossed the English Channel. So for me, that was like, how did she do that? I wanted to make a movie that told the story how that happened before she did it. How did she do it? How did she come to that shore and stand there and make that crossing? So all these obstacles that I put in front of her, the biggest obstacle, of course, was the war. And talking about patriarchy and all that, worry so much about that. And it was interesting to have the war as a backdrop, parallel to, because we know what will happen. We know there will be a war, but she doesn't know. So that was more also like a ticking clock to, you have to swim now. Don't wait till next year. Like Henry says, there's no next year. And so that was important. And while I was writing it, I mean, we are in Sweden are so blessing. We don't have, I mean, it's been so long since we had war. And we're taking the democracy is so easy for granted, And but while I was writing, the Russian invaded Ukraine, and suddenly around me here in Sweden, people were talking like, "Will the war come? could it come here? And it was something new and much more, you know, we were much more afraid of something, and that made it so present also, like these questions about a war coming up.
구체적인 장면들에 대해서 좀 여쭤보겠습니다. 그 살리라는 이 인물을 보여주는 특히나 그녀의 어떤 내적인 심리적인 상태를 좀 엿볼 수 있는 몇몇 주요한 장면들이 떠오르는데요. 뭐 이를테면 칼인이 등대 아래에서 발견됐다라는 소식을 들은 뒤에 홀로 건물 밖으로 나와서 갑작스럽게 그 터져나오는 울음과 울분을 참지 못하고 뭔가 옷을 벗어 던지면서 하늘을 올려다보며 눈물을 이렇게 뿌에내는 그녀의 모습이라든지, 또는 또 살리가 격분을 하면서 제 손에 이제 칼을 꽂는 그런 끔찍한 장면 같은 경우, 이런 장면들에서는 그녀의 어떤 내면의 어떤 파도, 요동치는 내면의 상태를 좀 엿볼 수 있습니다. 감독님께 이 장면들을 통해서 굉장히 강렬한 장면들인데요. 이 인물에 대한 표현을 좀 어찌 해보고 싶으셨을지 좀 더 청해 듣고 싶습니다.
Yes, for me, I look at the movie and I look at the story as a lot about her inner voice and her inner struggle. And for me, the visuals should symbolize that, how she feels throughout the film. And I wanted to work with two elements like freedom and claustrophobia. And for her, the urban, the city was a claustrophobia. The family was a claustrophobia, and the clothes was her claustrophobia. So when she was under pressure, she needed to, you know, get away from that. She felt trapped, and she felt trapped in the city. That's why I made this camera moving, and she was, you know, she was standing there and not be able to breathe. And I wanted the audience to feel that, to feel what she felt, you know, and that. The opposite to that was the freedom, and what's the open spaces where she could breathe and she could, you know, swim and all that. So that was the two elements we worked with the whole time. I just want to add that I almost saw like Sally as a fish on land. That was what I imagined, and when she made bad choices that was affected on her son, she needed to cut off her dream, you know. Almost like she was a fish. So it was like harsh and cruel, but that was her only way of not swim anymore.
열린 공간으로서의 바다라는 감독님의 말씀이 굉장히 의미심장한데요. 무엇보다도 이 살리에게는 수영을 하는 그 순간이 굉장한, 뭐랄까요, 황홀의 순간이었을 것 같습니다. 그만큼 이 바다에서의 수영 장면을 어떻게 찍을 것인가가 연출가로서는 좀 큰 과제였을 것 같고요. 앞서 그 배우분에게 수영을 할 줄 아느냐라고 물어보기도 했다고 했는데, 수영을 하는 것뿐만 아니라 안전하게 촬영을 하고, 또 그러면서도 이 수영을 하는 모습을 어떤 방식으로 촬영할 것인가, 어떤 구성의 샷으로 만들어낼 것인가가 관건이었을 것 같습니다. 기억을 더듬어 보자면 굉장히 클로즈업 되어 있는 그런 샷들이 좀 많았던 것 같고요. 또 반면에 또 와이드한 앵글들이 눈에 띄었습니다. 감독님의 어떤 수중 촬영에 대한 입장, 또 관철시키고 싶었던 어떤 원칙이 있다면 말씀을 좀 청하겠습니다.
Yes, I mean, from the beginning, I come from the documentary genre, and I think what I brought into to be a director for fiction, I want the characters or the actors to really feel, you know, the real atmosphere, and that can also be nice for them to have that challenge. So I wanted want her to be in the open water, to really feel what it was like for Sally to swim in an open sea. And so 90% of the film in water is in the open sea. And that was, of course, a challenge for Sally and for everyone. But I think I don't think we could have got what we really got from Josephine, well, not just being in a tank. So, of course, it was a lot of safety around this. Every shot was planned ahead. There was divers around her because I pushed her, and she wanted me to push her, but they needed to be someone there to just have the eyes on Josephine and make her safe. But we started the whole shooting of being in the ocean, and I think that was important for Josephine as well, to really know how it is to to be a swimmer and all that. And then we did the land after. So that was really great. But the close-ups we did later on, and that was in a pool, and where we really could focus because we couldn't get that close to her in the ocean, where we really can see her, you know, the fighting face. But then we knew exactly what we wanted, so that's how we did it. I wanted a lot of emotions. So we talked, she had like an open water trainer. She was training for 1.5 years to really swim good. And we were talking about different swim strokes and what that could compare to an emotion. So I gave her an emotion, you know, you should be angry here. And then she did the tiger, like. So we had like different temperature in terms of colors and where she was in her emotion. So it was a lot of talking, but quite a few directions, so she could just focus on one thing, like the emotion. We needed that, and there.
바다 씬뿐만 아니라 제 머릿속에 굉장히 자유로운 순간이라고 하면 그 살리와 라스가 함께 그 넓은 들판을 걸어 나가는 풍경이 떠오릅니다. 그것의 끝에 이제 아주 먼 그 바다의 풍경이 보이고요. 해협 그 절벽 끝자락에 서 있는 이 두 사람의 모습이 항공샷으로 펼쳐질 때 뭔가 마음이 확 트이는 것 같고 시각적인 환기에 이르는 것 같았습니다. 이 장면 굉장히 인상적이었는데요. 이곳은 어디일까 굉장히 궁금하기도 했고요. 감독님께 이 쇼트의 구성에 대해서도 좀 말씀을 청합니다.
Yes, we shot it in Dover, the real Dover cliffs, which was so important. I mean, we did mostly the shooting in Estonia, and some things in Sweden as well. But it was so important to have the real Dover, to really be there and to have that. And like you said, it's like this freedom that I was talking about before. Like it's like she's breathing out, almost like together with her son. Now they're there. They have fulfilled her dream, and he can be a part of that dream and the adventure with her. And yes, we planned everything. This is like a drone shot, and together with my DOP Hannes Krantz, we did a lot of talking about her inner voice and how that should reflect the movie. So this where she was before this, she had been struggling so much to come here to Dover, and finally she's here and she can breathe. And then the new obstacle comes after that, but at least she's there at that time and could just be present. You know, every camera's in this movie, like underwater and flying cameras, but every shot is planned and should be her feeling, her inner voice.
영화의 엔딩 시퀀스에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 흔히 그 어떤 성공 드라마의 끝이라고 하면 마치 이제 해협을 다 무사히 건너서 성취하는 그런 여정의 마지막을 상상하기 쉬운데요. 이 영화는 그렇게 끝나는 것보다는 오히려 반목해왔고 또 애증의 관계였던 칼리와의 어떤 교감의 장면과 더불어서 바다에 뛰어들어 해협으로 나아가려고 하는 그런 살리의 모습으로 마무리가 됩니다. 이 엔딩이 굉장히 인상적이었는데요. 어떻게 이 선택을 하게 되셨는지 말씀이 듣고 싶습니다.
Well, for me, the movie is the theme is like breaking norms, of course. And for me, the importance was the story for me is how did she get there? I mean, how did she get to that shore and stand there? That was more important than, I mean, I think most of people who are watching it knows that she did it. It was not important to see the success. It was the way there that was the importance. And for me, Carla, the sister, is also, in a way, she's making the biggest change in the story. Because she learns from Sally that there are other ways of being a woman. And she learns from Sally that there are other roles for women as well. And you should be able to choose. And I think that could take the pressure off her. And I think they grow closer together in the ending. That she realized that, okay, my sister is doing this, and it's also fine to do, you know. And a thing that's interesting in the real world, I have to mention that after Sally's swim, she and her son moved into Carla and her husband, and they became like an alternative family. So that was quite interesting for that time that you could do that.
감독님 이제 또 어떤 이야기를 준비하고 계실지 굉장히 궁금합니다. 여성 서사에도 이전 작품들도 그러했고 관심을 많이 보여오셔서 혹시 또 그러하실까 아니면 완전히 또 다른 방향의 어떤 새로운 이야기를 또 모색하고 계실지 어떠신지요? 궁금합니다.
Yes, I would say I'm changing the genre all the time, but like you said, it's always the female perspective, and I think it's so much more to develop in there, you know, that hasn't been told. And I'm doing, it's very early, but I'm doing a black comedy horror movie with a female perspective. So that's something else, but I think you could see me in that movie as well. But it's early, so we'll see.
좀 굉장히 기대가 되네요. 감독님께서 또 어떤 이야기를 만들어 주실지. 오늘 좀 긴 시간 인터뷰를 함께 해주셔서 정말 감사드리고요. 스웨덴 영화제 찾은 관객분들께 마지막 인사 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
I love Korean movies, and I would love to come at some point. So maybe the third time I could be able to come. And thank you so much for watching the movie. I'm very grateful for that.
네, 감독님 감사합니다. 오늘 이 인터뷰 이상으로 마치겠습니다. 또 뵙겠습니다.
Thank you so much for having me.